I come to this magnificent house of worship tonight because my conscience leaves me no other choice.
The right for the people, right, to elect their own government.
World order and say of war, this way of settling differences is not just. This business of burning human beings with napalm, filling our nation's homes with orphans and widows, of injecting poisonous drugs of hate into the veins of peoples normally humane, sending men home from dark and bloody battlefields, physically handicapped and psychologically deranged. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love.
Tens of thousands came in clusters, hoping to make their way through different routes to Merdeka
Cannot be
Stadium,
reconciled with
Malaysia's
wisdom,
declaration of
justice, and
independence
love.
over 50 years ago. The protesters are calling for electoral reform
Cannot
and
be
Chancellor Square has police
reconciled with
arrested
wisdom,
hundreds,
justice,
including
and
opposition
love.
politicians and the leaders of all the groups, calling it only fair.
Hurt, including opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim. He said he sustained a minor injury when his group was hit by tear gas. Malaysia's Prime Minister has spoken about the...
We are fighting for fair election. We hope Malaysia will be a truly democratic country. That's why we're marching for freedom and justice and rule of law.
Now, the police have acted quickly and very firmly against the protesters. Hundreds of rounds of tear gas have been fired against them to prevent them from regrouping and from gaining momentum. But the police tough action have angered many protesters who are now bent on continuing their march to the historical Stadium Merdeka. Police also fired water cannons at protesters as the crowds swelled to 10,000 in a bid to disperse them. But they soon regrouped and continued with their march. Hundreds of protesters were arrested, including several top opposition leaders. Several protesters were also injured.
Chemical tanning water on me, see all the rashes that I have on my arms. People will never forget how they feel. The shooting in front as well as back, you know. So we didn't even have place to run. They're surrounding us and they're shooting us with tear gas. This is our constitutional right to protest peacefully.
The crowd, they were shot up into the air. They're shooting, firing at the people. This is bad, very bad. Yeah, hit me, yeah. And many children, small ones, coming out from the LRT, they got tear gas, very bad. These are innocent bystanders.
Particular event here is also a polarized society between those who support government and buy the government line versus those who actually genuinely want to see some kind of democratic reforms take place in Malaysia before the next general election.
Tensions remain high as protesters now try to figure out where to take things from here. But they have succeeded in getting the attention they wanted. Attention that doesn't reflect well on the government of Prime Minister Najib Razak. This is a nation that cannot hide nor ignore its deep divisions for much longer. Margot Tigas, Al Jazeera, Kuala Lumpur.
These in years.
I'm feeling very proud of my country. I'm proud of my people. Because finally we are united together.
The group called Bersih 2 has hailed its demonstration for electoral reform as a victory. But the latest word we have is that more than 1,600 people have been arrested. Among them, leaders of Bersih as well as UMNO's youth wing and several opposition
Mr. Najib says protesters were trying to paint a picture of Malaysia as a repressive state, and if police had not monitored proceedings, they would not have been peaceful. Our special correspondent Kente checks out the situation a day after.
I'm here at Independence Square near one of the main protest sites where scuffles between the police and protesters took place yesterday. Many roadblocks around the city have been removed and things are generally calm. You can see tourists out in full force snapping away. But over here, some reminders of yesterday's protests. Police cars, police officers still standing watch, standing guard over this area. Over 1,600 people were arrested after the rally, but most were released late last night and are on their way back to their home states. We were at a hospital where opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim was admitted for minor injuries during the rally. Doctors have given him a clean bill of health after doing some imaging scans. Now, Bersih, the organization that was behind the rally, told me that they were outraged by the crackdown, but are not planning any rallies in the near future. They said they will continue to press on with their demands to put an end to electoral fraud and ensure free and fair voting ahead of the coming election by organizing roadshows and seminars to gain more support. Earlier, we attended a press conference by Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak, where he delivered a fiery speech condemning yesterday's protests.
You can air your views and online and so forth. I think it's about time people stand up and be counted, how they feel about it. But it does not mean for one moment we're not committed to democracy in this country and the rule of law. No, there's no police. Police used minimum force. There was no actual physical contact at all with the demonstrators.
Well, Mr. Najib faces criticism heightened by the death of one man during the rally. Opposition leaders, including Anwar Ibrahim, attended the funeral of Baharudin Ahmad, a taxi driver and former soldier. His brother says the 59-year-old collapsed as he ran from gas canisters fired by police. Opposition leaders too say the police went too far.
Tidak begitu kasar, memukul, menyepak, menendang sehingga ada yang terbunuh. Dan gas memedih mata dibuang dengan bukan ke udara, ke orang.
Police say Mr. Baharudin's death had nothing to do with the demonstration. They say he was simply a bystander who suffered a heart attack.
The investigation shows that his heart is slightly swollen and 3 of his arteries are blocked. Nevertheless, the pathologist has actually taken some samples to verify, and death is pending histological report. So from here we can say that his cause of death was not related in any way whatsoever with police action in dispersing the crowd.